home at last. Gary Walters, his son Jackson, and daughter Jessica finished biking coast to coast for kids this evening. It was Gary Walters' latest and longest adventure to raise money for Kinship partners. Becky Parker tells us how the community welcomed them back.
It was an unforgettable summer for Gary, Jackson, and Jessica Walters.
I have the greatest kids in the world. And a lot of parents say that, but I don't know too many parents can get their kids to do a 53-day bike trip day in and day out like mine did with almost no complaining.
The trio returned from their cross-country bike trip right on schedule and right back where they started, at Dondelinger Chevrolet in Baxter. The community welcomed them back with cheers as they rolled into town and dismounted their bikes finally for the last time. The Walters spent the summer riding coast to coast for kids. They traveled from Brainerd to the East Coast, flew to the West Coast, and then pedaled all the way back.
It was a fun experience. It had its ups and downs, as every trip does, but overall it was really fun.
For 9 years, it's been a tradition for Gary to tackle some wacky adventure to raise awareness of the youth mentorship program Kinship Partners.
It just brings our name into the public, and because of Gary, people consider being mentors in the program, and also they donate and support us.
As they rode by in their bright yellow t-shirts, the Walters family attracted a lot of attention on the road.
People would stop us and ask us questions. They'd say, "What are you all doing? Where are you going? Are you going across the country? What's it for?" And they'd ask those fun things, and they get glints in their eyes and get excited about us.
But Gary says this adventure was almost too wacky.
We figured out of the 42 days that we were actually on the road running hard, 36 of them were headwinds, and it shouldn't be that way, but it was. So it was well worth the trip, though.
Jessica says the last leg of the trip was especially difficult, not because of wind or terrain, but emotion.
The last actually home stretch, just knowing that you're so close to home and you just got to pedal it out to get there. So that was probably really hard.
Even with all the ups and downs along the way, they say it was worth it to make a difference.
We're crazy enough to do the hard work. We went out and did what it takes to do 54 days. Mentoring a kid is so cool. 1 or 2 hours a week is all we're asking them to do.
And compared to 54 days on the road, that's a much easier and less wacky way to give back. Becky Parker, Lakeland News.
And Walters' Wacky Adventures is Kinship's second biggest fundraiser of the year.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.